Good morning to TMX New Ventures. I'm hoping the connection is good enough to show you this morning. It's just told me it's low connection, but I said I would give you an update on the yard and what we've been growing. So here I am to show you today what we're at in our yard. We've been here just over 6 months now, and then as you can see, there's a lot behind me. I'm going to take you down there in a second. That has changed as we try and become more sustainable here. So let me just spin this camera around. I'm just going to start on our deck this morning with the things that we do up here, because there are some things that have been happening that we do regularly on our deck, including things like our microgreens. Now, if you want to see how to make microgreens or how to grow them more so, I do have a YouTube video on that. Over here we have some little baby seedlings happening in the seedling trays. We've got our next lot of crops that are getting ready to go in. So there's cucumbers and zucchinis and things like that. So that's what's happening in there. But let me come down the deck. I'll talk a bit more about those black things in a moment. The kids have been growing things. We got lettuce. We've had quite a few cucumbers off that decrepit looking thing now. But these are our hydroponics. Hey Monica, how are you? So this one you may remember from probably my very first video on my deck. And it was, we thought it was cabbage. Little did we know till last week that does not look like a cabbage in there. So we do have one cabbage in here. I actually yanked out the other one because it kept getting attacked by bugs before we put the cover on it. And we actually, this one's a cabbage as well. Not cabbage, cauliflower. So that's super cool that, you know, it's turned into something we actually didn't expect. We completely obviously messed up what seeds we'd put in there. So we do have a purple cabbage, and then we've got the two cauliflowers, which is kind of cool in there. And we've actually been really gradually eating the leaves off this, because what's happened recently is we've had a bug plague on our deck here. So over here, I'll move over here. These are broccoli, and we have really been struggling with the bugs. So we've actually decided we're going to start growing inside as well. So there's an empty one there that I'm going to pot up over the weekend, and we're going to start doing some inside under lights. So I've just had some lights arrive from Melbourne, and we're going to give a go to actually doing our greens. I'm not too worried about this. This was more, actually both of these were an experiment, because I was like, can you grow them on this crack skin method where you don't have to do anything other than feed them at the beginning and kind of leave them? So these were an experiment. These have never actually produced the broccoli. However, we've been eating when they're not too eaten by the whatever's eating them, we've actually been eating these instead of spinach, because the spinach and the lettuce have been absolutely hammered by bugs. So that's been the challenge there. Come on over here. This is called Mother of Herbs. This was gifted to me by one of the awesome ladies in my team, and it is loving life on the deck at the moment. Hello, Trace. Lovely to have you on. And then the kids have been doing things over here. We've realized the kids really like radishes, which we'd never actually eaten before. So that was pretty cool. And we got some mint, and we got tomatoes growing up the deck, and some more bits and pieces. Now I'll come down the deck. Excuse the mess. My chickens have been having a field day because of the wet. This is the first area that dries out. And this is our herb garden at the bottom of the stairs. And I was going to get the kids to clean it up, and I thought, oh, I'm going to keep it real and show you guys what it really looks like. So we've got olive trees up the back and lemongrass, which we've kept in there because it goes nuts otherwise. It just takes over. We've got some herbs here. Not the kids. What are they called? Chickens. They were dust bathing in here today, so hence it's dug everywhere. Some garlic up the back there that's just shot itself up in here. We've got a bit of that around, and also you can see the chickens have had a really good time of on my ginger, and that turmeric and ginger that came from our old house. So anyway, this will come back to life with a little bit of water and love. We've had lots of water around here lately. Talking about water, these are actually going under the deck to capture our rainwater from the front part of our house. Currently it goes to the curb. So they're going to go under our deck back there. I'll just walk around, and then we're going to close in the deck space. I don't know if you guys remember, but at the very beginning when we moved in, this was all hedging along the front, and we're not ones for maintaining something that doesn't grow food. We're all good for fertilizing and looking after the things that produce things back, but when it's something for the sake of being pretty, we're not so great at that. So we pulled them all out. That's going to be grassed eventually. We did some drainage along the front down to a pit, and eventually that'll have some grass on it, but we can't do that till spring, till it warms up. But you can see under there the kids have actually put in 2 pods already, so there's actually a total of 14 to go in under there, and they'll capture the water from the front of the house, which means it won't go out to the road, which is awesome. The Blueberries are doing fantastic down here. They're just plodding along. It's not that season yet. But we've got strawberries we planted in there and they're doing fantastic as well. We keep getting flowers on them and a little bit of fruit here and there the kids are enjoying. This is for the chickens. Chickens decided that was a great place. Oh, our native bees. So my parents visited a little while ago and they split their hive up. So we have some native bees. So they're pretty cool. The kids love coming out and watching them do their thing. And there's more strawberries along the ground. More recently, you might have remembered there was a frangipani tree here that we relocated originally from up near the driveway. Well, got fed up with that, thought let's go bigger picture. So we've got our grandma charmers both here now. So one's a yellow and one's a red. If you don't know what they are, they're like a cherry, but they've got a larger seed. They're beautiful. They'll take about 3 to 4 years. Oh, probably they'll get fruit next year, but it just won't be abundant. But it's quite abundant within about 18 months, 2 years. So kids have pulled out all the dracaenas and stuff from around there. We're just figuring out what to do with this tank. We'll probably relocate it so it's a bit further out the way. But along the fence line, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes is one of our key foods. If we had to grow anything in our yard, it would be sweet potatoes, zucchini, onion. That's about it. Because that's what they eat a lot of. Oh, and cabbage for sauerkraut. So this was a pretty hedged bed as well. Hedge is gone, sweet potatoes in. So, and a few tomatoes up the back. We had a bit of an abundance of tomatoes. By the way, tomato prices are ridiculous at the moment. So can I really encourage you, if you've got a punnet of tomatoes in your fridge and you've got a spare weedy patch in your yard or courtyard. I remember when we were first married, we only had a courtyard. It was a tiny little 3 by 3 meter courtyard, but we had a pot out the back and it kept dying with palm trees in it. So we ended up chucking cherry tomato in it. Just one out of like a punnet. And it just went nuts. We had cherry tomatoes coming out of our ears. So, if you eat tomatoes and you're looking at the prices at $9 a kilo at the moment, balking at it, chuck one in the ground. Just chuck it in a corner of a garden. All you got to do is mush them up, chuck them in, and they'll regrow. So there's a little tip for today on my gardening. I'm not very good at gardening, but I do know tomatoes grow really well. This is a transplant garden. So these are new. Last time I came to you, we only had the 5 small short ones on this side. So we got another 5, but we got taller ones, mainly because we had a lot of stuff to put in and we had a whole lot of compost at the back, which were all the old hedges. And what you do with these gardens is you actually 1/2 to 3/4 fill them with green matter and then you put the dirt and stuff on top. And yes, it compacts down over time, but it doesn't matter because you're rejuvenating them all the time. So we can, over here, we've got our 5 small ones, and I'll go through those and I'll tell you a bit about the new ones because the new ones we only finished amongst the rain the other day. But this is our most recent planted bed. You can see in here we've got, I'll get my shadow out the way, broccoli along the front. So hopefully it does better than the hydroponic stuff does. We've got cabbage in the centre and we've got cucumber at the back. And there's a few random things in here as well. There's I've just lost the word. Some basil in here to try and keep bugs at bay. There's some cress, there's a few other things, just trying to naturally keep the bugs away is what we're aiming for there. So if you've got any tips on keeping bugs away that are natural, we'd love to know about it. So this is our most recent one here. We've changed our method of chicken / we've got cockatoos, a lot of cockatoos. To keep them out, we've kind of changed our method a little bit. We've still got our pipes here, which are based on bamboo sticks. I don't know if you can see the sticks here waiting for the next lot of piping. But then this has actually got a really fine mesh on it. So stretches over the top. It's fantastic because you can see through it. It doesn't look so obstructed like the white did. This is actually our next bed of sweet potatoes to harvest, but we've got to wait for the weather to warm up just a little bit to give them a bit more of a go. This was our last harvest. When you saw last, I think we had this one with sweet potatoes and we had to return that dirt over. So kids have whippersnippered around the other day, but this is my favorite garden at the moment. This is my tomato garden. And I don't know if you guys can see, but those yellow things are actually yellow Roma tomatoes. We thought they were red. We kept waiting for them to turn red. They never turned red. They're actually ripe at yellow. So there you go. They actually are yellow Roma tomatoes. No idea how we got them, but they are amazing. I mean, they taste like Roma tomatoes, but I love it when something surprises you like that. And that is going gung-ho. So we haven't had to buy tomatoes now in about 4 weeks. I think we bought one lot at $9 a kilo and haven't had to buy since. This bed's on the end of its legs. This is our carrot and beetroot. We have about 10 jars of pickled beetroot up there, and I've got a whole lot of preserved carrots from doing that recipe. I think I shared that with you guys a couple of weeks ago. So that's pretty cool, but this is the end of this bed, so it's nearly ready. It'll be our next one to dig out and turn. Actually, no, it's our second. It's not our next priority. Our next priority is this one. Do you like the kids' scarecrow? Pine cones in a plastic bag and a hat, and I don't know what happened to the shorts and the gloves, but anyway, so this was a cucumber garden. It's on its last legs. We're just waiting on this very last little cucumber up here to do its thing, but the chickens have been in and digging this up. So this is actually our next one to turn over shortly, and then this will be the next one after that. So yesterday we had to do a run into Gympie because we had a friendly, not so friendly pet at our back fence yesterday. When I say pet, I mean dingo. So we have extended our fence up to preserve our chickens who have still not started laying eggs yet. So, you know, you buy them at point of lay, you think they're going to lay soon. No, we're now 8 weeks in, no eggs yet. But it also might be that they're freaked out because of the potential threat of that. So I suspect it wasn't the first time it's visited. It hasn't got in our yard yet, so it now can't jump the fence, which is a good start. And the kids have put wood along so that it makes it harder to dig in as well. So that was last night's effort in the Nelly dark, getting that sorted. But anyway, hopefully, but that also might explain why our chickens have taken to living under our house in the daytime. So they are loving life under there. We thought it was just because it was so wet, but they seem to have moved in. So anyway, that'll be next time's project. This is our most recent planted bed. We have in here predominantly cabbage, but I think the kids put some onion as well in here. We've got a couple of packets of onions that just have not worked, and they might have been expired, I'm not sure, but that's also what this is. This is the very end of... I'm sorry I can't see your comments, guys. It's too glary. I'll have a look at them when I get back up on the deck. But this is the very end of the onion and the leek packets, because we got to the point where we're like, they're not shooting. They weren't even shooting in the seedling tray in the warmth. So we're like, we'll just put them all out and see what we can do. So this is this most recent bed. We're waiting for them to shoot. Those seeds only got put in on Monday, I think. This one is going to become a potato bed. Greg is currently prepping potatoes. You've got to let them dry out first before you can plant them, otherwise they go moldy. They're currently in drying phase. He's hoping to put them in this weekend. And this is our filling it with our scraps bed. So we're always going to have a bed, well, hopefully, that actually the compost goes into, and we can turn that in. So that's what this currently is here. And the chickens even like getting up in that one as well. So I was going to get the kids out here to clean up the space, but I thought, oh, let's keep it real and show you guys really what it's about. Here's all the pipe work to finish off the irrigation. But otherwise, I think that's about it. That's kind of the progress we're at. Our orange tree is finally slowing down. It has produced so many oranges, this little thing here. We have had oranges for a long time. We're nearly ready with some more bananas, which we have dehydrated. Well, we've eaten as well, but there's only so far you can kind of eat with those before you've had enough. So that's about it from us in our yard at the moment. So there's been lots happening. The kids are loving this space and place. They love getting out here and grabbing some grasshoppers or bugs and feeding them to the chickens predominantly. But yeah, really loving this space out here, coming out here and just pottering around. And can I really encourage you to have a think about what you've got, whether it's a pot on your deck or whether it's something in your yard that you can, as I said, chuck a cherry tomato into and see what comes, or grow your herbs. You know, at our demos, we, you know, often would have, I'm just going to turn the camera around. You know, you need some rosemary and you need some parsley and things like that. Grow it. It's so easy, and it's kind of like, it's kind of like a weed after a while. You know, I was going to say, is there another way to explain it? But really there's not. It does. It becomes, you know, one of those things that you just always have. So do have a think about how you can do that, because it can save you a bucket load. And at the moment, groceries are not getting cheap. You know, they're actually going through the roof, and they reckon it's not going to stop. So what can we do to negate some of that is kind of, and that's why I say our basics are, we're going to grow sweet potatoes. We're going to grow zucchinis. They are a staple. Potatoes, we'll see how we go. If we have success, they'll be on the, you know, the rotation. But that's why we grow the things we eat, and yeah, try not to have to spend so much at the checkout. So guys, that's it for me today. Promised you a garden update. It's been 6 months here. We've done a lot in 6 months when you think about it. It's crazy. We still have a few more garden beds to come and go in, so I will do an update. They'll be probably another 4 weeks away, so maybe that'll be the next update, is when I've got those garden beds in over there. They'll be the last ones to complete our veggie patches then, to hopefully, yeah, grow more stuff in the garden. Hey Anne, lovely to have you on. Hi Diana, lovely to have you as well. But have a great day, guys. I'm hoping to come live to you later today if I've got time amongst crazy stuff for I want to show you how to make vinegar. So I didn't know how easy it was, and I learned the other day how easy it was to make your own vinegar. Yes, it takes time, but I'd love to show you how. And I don't even think you really need a Thermomix for it. So bit of weight to go into it and weighing things, but otherwise you could do that. You know, if you didn't have a Thermomix, you'd still be able to do it. So one, to be able to definitely share with your friends who are into that sort of, you know, making things from scratch themselves. But otherwise, guys, take care. Have a great day. Have a fantastic Friday, and let me know if I can support you or anyone you know with a Thermomix, or if you've got any questions about my yard. I am not a pro, okay, but I'll try and answer them for you as well. So take care, and I'll see you later on today. Bye for now.